Okay, so I wanted to do a basic Unity setup of my character that I modeled up and rigged. But before I do that, I'm going to create a new project. So with the Unity hub open, I'm going to press New Project, and it's going to load up the templates here. Once it does that, I'm going to, by default, it's Universal 3D selected. That's what I want to keep. And I need to select the destination folder. And my project is going to be called Stealth Soldier. And I'm going to click Project, Create Project. And that's going to take a while, and that should create another folder within my folder that I created already. So that's just going to take a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so when the project is created, this is what it should look like. So I'm going to go into my folder that I just created. So in here, there should be an assets folder, and I like to create a folder in here called template. And inside this template, I'm going to create 8 subfolders. So new folder, just copy, okay, so the first one is going to be called animations. Animator, materials, models, prefab, scripts, texture, and input. And this is where I'm going to store the new input for the new input system. So the reason I do this is because if I do like a bunch of different like assets, like obviously I'm going to do one for the main character, but just say I do enemies, then I don't have to make this folder over and over again. I can just take this, I can copy and paste it, and I'll just rename this one to main character. And in here, I need to drag and drop some assets. So under the models folder, I'll get main character and the gun, and all my animation files, or the FBXs, they can go into the animations folder. And I also need to grab textures. So I've got a few. I've got eye color, gun color, helmet color, main character color, main character normal, and vest color. Drop that into textures. So once that loads up, under assets here, the main character is going to show up as well as the template that I created. Okay, so here's the main character and templates down here. So if I first I need to go to the animations folder. So for all of these are all like idle, walk, run. So all of these have to loop. So I need to go one by one. Oh yeah, under animations. It's asking me to set my normal texture to a normal map, so I want to fix that now. Okay, let's go ahead and fix now, and then over here, I'm going to go to loop, check loop time, and then apply. And I think I have to do these one by one. I don't think I can do. I don't think I can do them all at the same time. So I'll just go and check all these. I'm going to go to models. My model selected. I'm going to go to rig, and under avatar definition, I want to create from this model, and then apply. And I also need to create, so under texture, my normal was already created for me, so I don't have to worry about that. So I have to do 1, 2, 3, 5 different materials. So in the materials folder, I'll create a material called main character, create a material called vest, helmet, eyes, and done. So I'll start with the first one, the eyes. So I'm just going to drag and drop the eye color into the base map. And I'll just leave everything as is. I'll select the gun. Make it a little bit more matte, so I'll bump down, or I'll pull down the smoothness. The helmet. This one also doesn't need specularity, so I'll bump down the smoothness. I'll do the vest first. So the vest is the same thing. The vest is all fabric, so I make this completely 0 for the smoothness. And for the main character, the color is going to be the base map, and normal is going to go under normal. I'll make them not as specular, so I'll turn down the smoothness. Back in the models, I'm going to select the model. First I'll do the gun because it's easier. It's only got one slot, so one material slot here. Let's drag and drop the gun. And it looks like the normals are flipped, so I'll have to fix that. Go here. Main character, and I don't know which is which here, so I'll just go helmet and vest, and then apply. I can't really tell. I'll just create an empty and call it main character. Then I'll drag and drop my main character mesh. Make it 0, 0, 0. And I'll parent that underneath the main character empty. So right away I can zoom up to him. And I don't know why he's not visible. Oh, there we go. So I've obviously got the vest and the helmet textures are backwards, so I'm just going to go back here, and the vest goes first. Whoops, wrong folder. The vest goes first, and then it's the helmet. And I'll apply. There we go. So the materials are all good. So there's some issues with the gun and the eye. I guess the normals are flipped, so I'm gonna have to go and fix that. But before I do that, I'll go place the gun in his hand. Right here. 0, 0. It's easier just to make sure it's in local. It's easier to see the angle of the gun when I place it. So when I rotate it, I'm trying to get this angle, so it's easy to get the angle like this. If it's local, if it's global, it's kind of hard to see because it goes like this. But I'll bring it close to his hand and rotate it just a bit more, so it's like flush with his palm. Then I'll go back into 3D. And oops. Has to be even more flush. Yeah, so with in local mode, it's easier to place. So I can just slide it up and down like this along his hand. If I go global, then obviously it goes like this, so it's kind of hard to like get it right. So it's better just to go like this. I think that's roughly where I wanted it to be. So once you have it where you want, I need to find his wrist joint. So this is right wrist, so from his clavicle right Now his arm to his wrist. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this gun and plunk it under his wrist. Okay, so I've went ahead and I've I fixed the normals on the gun, and I believe, yeah, his eyes are good now. So he's got both eyes. So I can close up the default main character default pose. I need to add, let's go ahead and add another empty, and I'll call it camera, and I'm going to, I'm going to parent, well, first of all, this has to be 0, 0, 0. And I want to put the main camera into, I want to parent it, the camera to this camera empty that I just created, and this entire camera rig is going to go under the character, so it's going to follow the character wherever the character goes. I think this is going to be an isometric game, so I'm going to use this camera. First I'll bring it up to his chest level, and then I'm going to rotate the entire camera so that it's looking down on him like this, and then I'm going to, with using local space, I'm going to bring it closer to him. Actually, this could be, it could be at his feet. Doesn't have to be at his chest. But I want the camera to be a little further away, because I want to make this a top-down isometric shooting game. I'll leave it like that for now. So under the main character, I need to add a few things. I need to create an animator. So I don't have a controller right now, so for now I'll just set the avatar, which is main character default pose avatar, and I'll create a character controller, and I'm going to make it so that it just fits his body. So the center of it is going to be 1 unit up, and the height is going to be 2. The skin width, I'm going to make it as low as possible. That's good enough. And in the animator folder, I need to create an animator. Animator controller, call it main character animator. I'll just go set it on the character ahead of time. And I'm going to open up the animator. So I'm going to right click and create a from new blend tree. So this will be the default blend tree. So this one's only going to have 3 motion fields. So value 0 is his idle. So this is with his gun down. So he's just standing there and he's looking. He's looking around. 0.5, he's walking, and 1, he's running. So if I play this, he's looking around, he's idle, and he's walking, it's 0.5, and then he's running. So base layer, I'm going to create another, right click, create a new blend tree. This one's going to be called aiming, and I'll create a boolean called, let's call it aiming. Make transition to aiming if we're going to unclick has exit time. If aiming is true, but it bounces back. If aiming is false. So this one's a little bit tricky. I might have to play with this because first I'm going to try to do a 2D directional, and I need to create I don't remember if it's a float or an integer, but I'll try do x. So the forward and backward is going to be x. Let's call it x direction, and then I believe the other one is z. So another float called z direction. So this one's going to be x. This one's going to be z, and create a motion field. I have a total of 9, so I need to create 8 more. One, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Set all these to 0 first. So for the first one, this one's going to be idle, so 0, 0. This one's going to be walk forward, so it's going to be x 0.5. This one will be 1. This one will be walk backwards, so minus 0.5. This will be minus 1. Moving right, I think this is positive. So I want to find out if I put 0.5. Oh no, this has to be 0. 0.5 in this y. Oh, it puts it over here. Okay, so I want to put this negative 0.5, negative 1, and this one will be 0.5 and 1. So this is my right and this is my left. This is forward, backwards. So the center is going to be aiming idle. This one's going to be aiming walk, aiming run, aiming walk back, aiming run back, walk right, aiming, run right, aiming, walk left, and aiming, run left. So if I go here, if I have him play, it's just idle. You can walk forward, run. He's not running for some reason. Walk backwards. He's not running. I don't know why. Go left. Okay, the walking animations are working, but the running animations aren't. Not sure why. But I'm going to leave that for now. First, I'm going to go back here. I want to create a script. Character. And I'll just open that up. With the script created, I'm going to hop back into the editor for a second. I'm going to drag and drop my main character before I forget, or I mean the script. Oh, it's not letting me do it because it says can't add script component main character because the script class cannot be found. Make sure there are no compile errors. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'm going to go into my input. I'm going to right click in my input folder and I'm going to create input actions. This will be called main character input. I'll open this up and I'll create an action map called main character. And what's down here? Okay, so I want to call this move. I want to create 3 more. This one's going to be called attack, crouch, run. So for this one's going to be a value, action type is going to be value, and then control type is going to be vector2. The binding is going to be oh sorry, I need to go here and I need to create up, down, left, right composite. This no binding I can delete, and here I need to tell it what the keys are. So for the path, up is going to be W, down is going to be S keyboard, left is A keyboard, and right is D keyboard. So for these ones, these are just buttons, so I can just leave as is. For the binding, I'm going to do mouse the left button. Crouch is going to be mouse middle button, and run is going to be mouse right button. Okay, so after this is all done, you have to make sure to save, otherwise you're going to lose everything, so I'll save that. With the main character selected, I'm going to add a component. Player input, and in this field here, by default it has like its own default input system, but I created a new one, so I'm going to drag and drop the new one that I created, and I'm going to set the behavior to invoke Unity events, and all this stuff is where I set all the controls that I just created. But oh, sorry, I need to open this up. Yeah, so move, tack, crouch, run, all the stuff here that I just created, all the stuff here shows up here, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. First I'm going to save project, and I'm going to try dumping my script again. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Okay, I should probably save my level. So when I created the project, it created a scenes folder for me, and the sample scene is here. So I'm just going to go ahead and save as sample. And oh, I also need to double check under project settings, under player, with player selected, under this other settings, I need to make sure that the new input system is set. So active input handling, it can be either old input system, new input system, or both, but I'm just dealing with the new, so I'll just leave it as is. If you decide to change it, then you have to restart the entire engine, but I'm not going to worry about that. So before I do any of the new input stuff, I'm going to go ahead and code the basic character movement. So right away I'm going to create some variables. So private character controller called character, controller private animator, and I'll just call it animator. I need serialize field, float, walk speed, I'll set it to 5. Great. Run speed, which is, I'll just set it to something higher, like 8. Float, turn speed, and speed, and one last one called bool is running. So first of all, in the start function, I need to set the character controller is equal to get component forgot to put brackets. Okay. So this update function, what I'm going to do is running is equal to input dot get key code mouse 1. So this is the old input system, but I'm going to do it this way first, and then I'm going to swap everything when I do the new input system. So I'm going to do it in steps. So for now, I'm just going to do everything as if it was the old input system. Okay, so right below that, I'm going to trigger a function called move. And right outside, right below the update, actually I want to go float get current speed. So in the old input system, if this button is pressed, then is running would be either set true or false. If it's if the button is being pressed, then it's true. If it's not, then it's false. So the current speed is return is running question mark. It's asking if it's true or not. So if it's true, then the current speed, it's going to return the run speed as the current speed, and colon walk speed. And why is it not? He's running. Oh, I know why. I forgot. Okay. So I'm just gonna compile that. I'm going to change this to 2, walk speed is 2, and run speed is 5. I'm going to compile that again. And once that's done, actually I'm going to try and drag and drop this main character script again. And it's not letting me do it, I don't know why. Main character. So it's actually working now. I finally got the script onto the player. It took me about the better part of the day to figure it out. I'm not sure why it just decided to start working, but it's working now, and I guess I'll continue. So first I'm going to set these values to 5 and 0.2. First I'm going to create a ground plane. Oops. Ground 0, 0, 0 for position. Make it really big. Okay. So back inside the script, I want to create a method called move. And this is going to trigger a method or a function or whatever you want to call it outside of the update. We call public private void move. Okay, so again, I'm using the old input system for now, just in the script, and I'm going to replace it all later. Get access. So I'm going to copy and paste this. This is vertical. So I'm creating a float called horizontal, and I'm setting the value of that to the horizontal input times get current speed, which is this, whether it's walking or running, times time.delta time. So this is when the old input system was still used. And then I take those two values, I create a vector 3. Called new vector. And it's going to be equal to new vector 3 horizontal 0 vertical. So I'm basically making the direction that I want him to move. So I'm taking this horizontal for the x. The y is the up direction, so it's just going to be set to 0. And then vertical, which is the z, is going to be this here. And the animator dot set float guess I should change this to speed. Set float speed. Vector equals vector 3.0 question mark. So I'm asking if it's equal to 0, the word vector. If it's 0, then speed is set to 0. Otherwise, is running question 1F. So if it's running, then it's going to be 1. It's going to be 1. Whoops. Why is it not letting me? You get the point. Passing to anim speed time dot delta time basically I'm going to trigger another function outside. We call void rotate vector 3 move. So basically, if its move vector is not zero, meaning if it is moving, if he is moving, the character, then I'm going to trigger this function. And in this function, this is where I actually rotate the character or move the character in this direction. So this is, here I'm just getting the value of the direction that he's going to move. Create a quaternion called target rotation. The rotation that I want to turn the character is going to equal to quaternion look rotation move vector 3 dot up. So target rotation is the rotation I want, and the new rotation is the rotation of the character. Quaternion dot warp. So transform dot rotation, which is the rotation of the character right now, comma target rotation, turn speed times time dot delta time. So basically I'm going, I'm starting with the character's current rotation, and I'm turning him to the target rotation at the turn speed times time dot delta time. And so transform dot rotation is constantly being set to new rotation. I'm going to compile that. I'm going to change this to capital T, and I want to make some changes to this real quick. So first I'm going to create a serialized field, and it's going to be transform camera rig. So once I compile this, I'm going to dump the camera rig into that slot, and I'm going to make some changes to this move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a line after this here. It says, oops. Vector 3, we'll call it relative move vector. It's going to be equal to quaternion dot angle axis. And I want to reference the camera rig dot Euler angles dot y vector 3 dot up times move vector. So relative move vector is relative to the camera rig. So this is just in case I decide to move the camera or change the angle of the camera, which is very unlikely, but by doing this it gives me some flexibility. So with this new vector created, I need to replace all the move vectors with the relative move vector. I'm just going to copy and paste all these. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, character. Controller dot move relative move vector. So this is going to move it. So I think this part of the script is good for now. I need to add script to make the input work now. So like the movement input and the attack, crouch, and run. So first, at the bottom, I'm going to create some functions. So public void on move input action dot callback context context. Oh, first I need to go up here. And I need to use using Unity engine dot input system. So this is the new input system. And to create a variable private vector 3 move input. So basically this is whenever one of the movement keys, W, S, A, or D, is pressed, it's going to trigger this, and that whatever that value is going to be set this. Move input equals context dot read value vector 2. So I forgot to put. So this is going to replace the these 3 lines. So this is the old input system. So I'm taking these horizontal and vertical and feeding it into here. But instead, what I'm going to do is because the movement, the whatever key is pressed is embedded in this move input vector 3, I want to get move input dot x for x, y can be 0, and move input y. Dot y for move input y for the z. I think I'm just going to leave that for now. Even though this is y and this is supposed to be the z value, I'm using the y because I think in vector 2 there's only x and y, there's no z. I think. If I'm wrong, I can fix that later. So I'm going to compile that. And I'm going to create some booleans. I'm going to make some more buttons. Private bool input equals false by default. I'll create two more. One's going to be attack. The other one's going to be crouch. So just say public void on run input action dot callback context, call it context. If context dot perform, if it is pressed, then run input equals true, else run input equals false. And I'm going to copy and paste this twice. So this one's going to be on attack. If context is performed, then attack input is true, otherwise it's false. This one's going to be crouch. And if performed, then crouch input is true, otherwise it's false. Okay, so I think I've got all that. I think I got everything correct there, so I'm just going to compile. So with that compiled, I'm going to hop back in here, select the player, and in this player input, I'm going to open this up. So it's got these three, or these four functions that I created: move, run, attack, on crouch. So basically these are waiting to be triggered, and they're going to be triggered in here. So in order, the way to do that is to I need to click the plus button, and it's asking for a script. So I'm just going to drag and drop the main character script. So in case you don't remember, when I go to the input that I created, the move, attack, crouch, run, that's basically triggering whenever, just say, a button is pressed, then it triggers this. So if attack is pressed, then it triggers this thing, and it's going to seek the on run or on attack or on crouch or whatever. But first I have to specify it. So let's go down here, monoscript. Actually, I was supposed to. This is actually incorrect. I'm supposed to drag and drop it from, not from the folder, but from here, I think. Let me try that now. So move. Okay, so yeah, I'm supposed to drag it from the inspector into these slots, and then I'm going to go to main character, which is the name of the script, and on move. So this here triggers this on move. This entire function gets triggered. I would do that for the other four. So attack, main character, on attack, for crouch, main character script, on crouch, main character script, on run. So I'm going to hit play, see if it works. Well, actually, I forgot one thing. I'm going to stop this for a second. So the main character script, I have to drag and drop the camera rig. So this camera that I created, it's got to go into this field. Okay, it's not working for some reason. Okay, so there's some changes that I need to make. First, in the script, I have this is running if key code mouse 1 is pressed, but this is the old input system, so instead I'm going to do if run input equals true, then is running equals true. So if you don't remember, run input is set at the bottom here. If the button is pressed, then it gets triggered. This checks to see if the button is pressed, and if it is being pressed, if it is performed, then run input is true. If not, then run input is false. So over here, run input is true, then is running is equal to true. Else if run input is false, then is running is false. And this is running, whether it's true or false, gets fed into this get current speed. It checks to see if it's running. If it's running, then it uses the run speed. If not, then it uses the walk speed. But the reason why the character wasn't moving is because instead of using this, I should do a variation of the original code. So I'll copy and paste that there. So input.getAccess, this is old, so I'm going to replace this with move input.x times get current speed, and current speed calculates the speed based on whether or not it is running is true or not. this one's going to be movement input. .y. And the horizontal and vertical gets fed into here. So it's the same as what I had before, except the old input system is not being used. So everything else stays the same. But if I compile that and I go into the editor, I added some boxes here so you can, for the sake of reference. So just gonna wait for this. So the problem with that I have right now, oops, if I hit play, if I walk forward, oops, and once more, I don't know what happened there. Walking forward is fine, but once I hit left or right, then the character rotates like he's supposed to. If I hit backwards, then he rotates. But the camera, because the camera is parented to the player, the camera rotates along with the character, which is not what I want. So I'm going to unparent it. I'm going to unparent the camera rig, and I'm going to hit play. So I can move around freely now, the camera, but the only problem is the camera doesn't follow him. I want the camera to follow him without rotating. So the only way that I can think of to do that is to create another script for the camera and create model behavior script for camera. I'll add this to the camera. Oh, it's happening again. I don't know why. I'll try this once more. Camera. Oh, okay, it works now. So in this camera script, I want to create public transform actually I'll just do public game object player. So in the update function, I'm just going to make it so that transform.position is constantly equal to the player's transform.position. I'm going to compile that. So to begin with, like the player position and the camera position are in the same spot. So after this compiles, I'm going to drag and drop the character. The field should, yep, there's an empty field here. I'm going to drag and drop the main character. So as you can see, the main camera, I actually. I'm going to unrotate that. I'm going to create an empty object inside the camera. We'll call it rotator. And I'm going to dump the camera in there. So the camera is the parent of the rotator, and the rotator is the parent of the camera. The rotator I'll rotate back to 31-ish. So now the position of the camera is the exact same position as the player. So if I move the camera away over here, and as you can see, the player is like out of screen, but if I hit play, see what happens. The camera automatically snaps, and as I move around, the camera moves around, but it doesn't do that crazy rotation, which is exactly what I want for this this third-person isometric game. It's a lot like I guess like Darksiders Genesis or Hades or even the Diablo games where it's top-down and the camera just follows the player but doesn't rotate. So this is exactly what I want, and also the running also works. So if I press the right mouse button, then he runs. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do for this video. There's a lot more that I want to do. Some of the upcoming videos, it's going to be when he's aiming, when he's shooting. I'm going to have him point to wherever the cursor is. So that's going to be a unique challenge. And after that, I'm also going to do the footwork. So what I mean by that is if he's facing a certain direction but he's moving in a different direction, then I need a way to calculate which foot position I'm going to use, which has to do with this blend tree, because I got like this the forward, backwards, left and right. So it's got I have to figure out a way to calculate it. So that's what's going to be next. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and please keep an eye out for future videos. Thanks.